I hit the switch, I can make the ass drop.
In the vibe, y'all.
That's right. I'm Bass P.
And I'm DIZZ-E.
That's right.
You are now in the vibe. Yeah. He's not hyper at all. Not in party mode. Okay? I'm always in the party mood. No! Okay. Hyper. Here we go. Boom. Welcome to another exciting episode. Episode number 5. Okay, 5. You want to do 5? We can do 5. 5, and 5. Oh, yes. Okay. Welcome. Right? What a week of love and support you have all shown us. Man, are we excited, and thank you. We want to thank you for joining us every week to join us on this episode, okay? And thank you again for supporting us right from the very beginning, from our first episode to our 5th episode, okay?
That's right. Remember, keep showing us the love because you guys have shown us so much love already. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the views. Thank you for the comments.
And remember to
press the subscribe button right here. I still have to know.
He did it, okay? And don't forget to ring the bell, okay? So it will alert you every time we put our new episode up or a new video or new content, right? And it will alert you. I think it goes ding ding. I don't know. Something like that. I'm sure they'll let you know, okay, some way. Maybe they send somebody over to your house, knock, watch the episode. Maybe that's what we should do.
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe we can hire 1,000, 7,000, 8,000 people to go knock on different people's doors.
Is that legal?
I don't think it's illegal, but hey, okay, we can do it, right?
Anyway, keep the comments coming and don't forget to press the like button.
Like. It's the one with the thumbs up. Okay, it's the thumbs up. Like. Okay, give us the likes. Okay, we are so excited. Okay. Also follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Okay, and don't forget to check out our other channel, Critical Opinion, on right on YouTube.
Critical Opinion.
Okay, the links are down below for everything. Spotify, all of the stuff that I mentioned. See all the little things at the top here? Yeah. Go to these places. Right? Yeah. So all these social media sites, we're there. We're everywhere. We are everywhere. Somebody actually asked to send that in the comments. Yeah. Are you guys everywhere?
Yes.
Okay.
Anyway, this week we are putting Dougie Fresh and the Get Fresh crew in the spotlight.
The human beatbox.
Oh,
right?
The original one.
Also, I'm excited because it's from my home country. The best rock group there was, there is, there will be, okay? And everybody loves them. And honestly, they had a huge effect on hip-hop music itself.
Yes.
So many people have sampled their music. Okay, so many producers, rappers, right? You name it. Even rock bands have sampled, have used their riffs, guitar riffs, drum riffs, everything, right? And that band is called Queen. You know, people probably wonder why we're talking about Queen on a hip-hop station. You know what? We're going to be mixing it up because a lot of rock bands, a lot of other punk bands, country music, they've all had influence on hip-hop music, and hip-hop music has, in reverse, had an effect on them.
We're taking all music genres.
So why don't we get started? Let's get started. Pete.
Yep.
What an interesting week. It's always an interesting week. There's so much stuff happening every week, right? And there's, we're not here to deliver any bad news. We're always here to deliver some good news. Because you guys get enough bad news in your lives from TV, other places, YouTube. Stop watching the bad news, okay? So come on, if you want to have a party, you want to get down to it. This year is really, actually this week was really special because it was 23 years ago this week that Nas released his album, I Am. Okay? Can you believe it? 23 years.
That shows up.
I actually still remember walking into the store and they had put the release album and I went to buy the disc and I was just like, wow, Nas, right? And it was like, in the store I went to, it was sold out, right?
Yeah.
In half an hour.
No way.
Yep, it was completely sold out.
That just
Right?
shows the power of Nas.
Man, Nas is one of my favorite rappers,
Yes.
right?
One
And
of my all-time favorite too.
influenced by him, and him and Snoop Dogg, man, and Dr. Dre. Those are my four guys. Nas, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, and Ice Cube.
Ooh, Ice Cube.
These
Yeah.
are the guys that I sort of have grown up with, and they were my guys that I just listened to all the time, right? And influenced the way I rap, and especially my new vocals that I've learned and have mastered with the vocal trainer, right? I feel proud. I'm proud and strong about it. Anyways, so
coming soon, guys.
can't wait till you guys hear our new vocals, the new sound, new music. It's off the hook.
Yes.
I have to give you props. Okay? You said we're going to WWE in news here, people. You probably all already know about this, but we're going to talk about this. I have to give him props. He said Roman Reigns was going to win the championship, unify the championship.
Acknowledge me. I can't say like I can't say like him.
The one.
That's it, that's
Okay,
it.
the one. Okay.
Acknowledge.
Anyway, so congratulations, you were right. Brock
Yes.
Lesnar lost. It was a shock. He threw Roman Reigns all over the ring.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns just got a lucky shot. That's it.
Anything could happen.
Right? Okay. And the other thing I want to give a shout out to Bianca Bel-Air.
That's
Okay,
one of my
another
favorites.
female wrestler. She is now the women's WWE champion.
Bianca.
Woo! Man, that girl is EST, the strongest, fastest, woo, and the coolest.
Yeah.
Okay,
EST.
and yeah, that's why they call her the EST of
Exactly.
WWE. Okay, all right. So, anyways, and guess who made a comeback? Guess who made a comeback? Did you watch it? Did you
I
watch
did,
WrestleMania?
and I'm a huge fan of this guy.
Who made a comeback?
Man, it's the American
Nightmare.
That's right.
Okay.
American Nightmare.
Cody Rhodes. Okay, actually, he's the son of the late and beloved Dusty Rhodes. Okay, he was called the American Dream.
Yeah.
Right, the guy, son of a plumber, right, and man, he broke record, and he was one of the best wrestlers of all time.
Yes.
Okay, and the guy could move for the size he was.
That's right.
Woo!
He
That
can
guy could
He
move.
can style, he can
Right?
dance,
He could
and he can talk.
style. Yeah, he knew how to talk. He knew how to work it.
Yeah.
Okay, and then also one guy I think that should not have come back. You probably disagree with me.
We discussed about
right?
this. We
And
discussed about
is Steve Austin, Stone Cold Steve Austin, the Texas Rattlesnake. Okay, I think he did the right thing before when he said he wasn't going to come back, and now that he came back, love the guy, great wrestler. Okay, but I think his time is come and gone. Okay, and because he was really slow.
I think he was handling his own. It was just at the end that he was doing that Stone Cold driver on Vince.
I know, but they completely missed it off cue, right? Vince didn't even know where he was going.
I think he was dazed.
Vince, stop. Give the young guys a chance, okay? Stop. Okay, stop taking the limelight. I know you guys were trying to relive that whole the 1990
2000
99 98
Attitude
era. Okay, come on, man. Give the young guys a chance, okay? Because I think they deserve it. Give somebody else a spotlight. You're great, Vince. Okay, you gave us entertainment all these years, and you're still giving us entertainment. Love what you're doing, but come on, come on, bro. Okay, next.
Yeah, what's the next one?
Last week we talked about Will Smith.
Yeah.
Okay,
yes, we
and
did.
the slap that was heard all around the world.
I gave my
Everywhere, everybody heard this slap, right? And guess what happened? There were consequences. Okay,
Well, it was bound to happen. Yeah.
he resigned from the Oscars.
Mhm.
Okay, so he's not going to be attending any more Oscars. He's not going to be on the board. He's not going to be able to make any votes on any of the movies. Okay, and also another thing that happened. I don't think this should have happened. Okay, is they canceled or they put Bad Boys 4, right, on the back burner. So they're not. They were going to start shooting this summer or during the summer. And another movie that he was involved in that was going to start shooting as well was Fast and Loose, but they're all put on hold. Okay,
I
so
think-
Will.
Yeah. It's okay. It's okay. Well, just
don't worry. Let things calm down,
exactly.
right?
So
And you're gonna always be on top, bro.
Yeah.
Okay. You're gonna get another Oscar. They're gonna have to give it to you. You're a good actor.
We're still fans of yours.
And love you, bro.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So, what do you think about that? Do you think they should have taken him out of the Oscars?
The problem is I've never seen anybody get hit in the Oscars. And usually people...
It's usually a joke. If something like that happens,
Yeah.
it's usually just a fake, it's just a joke they planted,
Yeah.
right?
I already said my opinion from last week, but I just believe that, he should have dealt with the consequences. But just don't take the Oscar away from him because he did work his butt off.
Not to take that, he earned that. Okay, that was for the work he did,
That's right.
not because of his behavior. Next thing I want to talk about is Kanye West is out of Coachella the weekend, and the Swedish House Mafia was named to replace him at Coachella. You know what Coachella is?
I know Coachella and I love Coachella.
You want to tell people what Coachella is?
Well, basically, it's just a place where all the rappers, all the artists come together. It's a local event, but everybody sees it worldwide, statewide, countrywide, and it's just the latest hits. The latest rappers performing.
They get paid a lot for that.
Yes,
too.
and by the way,
it's incredible.
I heard that Kanye was going to get paid somewhere around 8
million.
Yeah, that's
8
right.
million.
Yeah.
All right. So the other thing is, this was really cool because he's also a really good rapper, right? And he's Fat Joe, right? Is just announced this week that he's going to release his memoirs. Okay, the book of Jose. Right? Because he's Hispanic, eh?
Yeah, definitely.
So it's coming out in November 1st, so check it out, wait for it, okay? It's definitely going to be some interesting stories, because I'm sure he has a lot of interesting things to talk about. Finally, you don't know this guy, okay? He's a friend of mine, his name is Vietnam. He released his second solo album, The Devil's Playground. So you can find the link down below, okay, for his album on Spotify. And you know what? Hey, I want you to check the sample out. Here's a sampler for his song, his single, okay? All right, so here's a song from his album, The Devil's Playground.
Same niggas, same hood, still up to no good. Fuck a kid, yeah, smoking on that backwood.
Wow, that sounds awesome. That's really good. Well, let me say some things about this week that happened to me. Actually, first of all, I gotta talk about the weather. The weather is crazy. As you know, we're in Czech Republic, Czechia.
The heart.
The heart. And we're waiting for springtime, and it's like a yo-yo. It's like cold, warm, and everybody's still getting sick around here, so I don't want to pass it on to you. The point is that we want stable weather.
Okay, no.
We want stable weather. We hope it's coming soon.
I really hope it does. Because I'm now ready for nice warm weather, the spring weather. I'm ready for it. I want to go wear my shorts. I'm tired of wearing jeans and slacks. I want to put my sandals on, put my shorts on. And you know what? I want to get our segment started off the street, right? Voice from the street. I want to get that on there. I want to get that started because I can't wait to see that. I can't wait to hear what people in the general public have to say about music, hip hop, what their favorite is, okay? So we might be coming to your neighborhood. Okay, so today we're going to start our discussion about Dougie Fresh and the Get Fresh crew.
That's right.
Ooh.
Let's do it.
Okay, Dougie was the original, like I said, human beatbox.
Can I do
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's
Go ahead.
I thought about this.
Okay,
1, 2, 3, go. We in the vibe. We in the vibe. We in the vibe.
Okay, all right. So check this out. Okay, the original human beatbox.
Who does it much better, by the way?
What? Do that let me see him on the groove.
Dougie Fresh.
That's right. let's talk about the members of the crew. There's first Dougie Fresh, whose real name was Dougie Davis.
Yeah.
And by the way, he's from Barbados. He's a Caribbean guy.
Hey, wasn't DJ Herb from the Caribbean as well?
That's right. That's true.
Right?
That's true.
What is it with the Caribbeans?
They got vibe. They got music. They got food. They got
Rihanna
flow.
from the Caribbeans? It's,
Put it on us. Teach us how to do it. And so
I think they're naturally born with rhythm.
yeah,
Right?
they are.
Okay, so continue.
Love you guys.
So continue.
So there's also MC Ricky D, Chill Will, Barry B, and Doug was the guy who started it all. However, other rappers got more recognition, got more famous for the big beatbox skills, but it was Dougie Fresh who was the originator.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and one of the songs called Pass the Buddha, and I remember it's Pass the Buddha to the Left
Yeah.
by Dougie Fresh and Spoonie G and DJ Spivey. Released the song in Spotlight Records. I think it was either 1982 or 1983.
Yeah, I think, yeah, somewhere within that range.
But actually, let's take a listen to this.
Okay, let's go. Run the clip.
Hey, come on, y'all.
Pass the Buddha on the left hand side.
Say what?
Pass the Buddha on the left hand side.
Okay, that was a good clip, man. Like it's you know, we do apologize again. We can only show a certain small number of the clips due to copyright infringements set by YouTube. Another one of his earliest recordings as a solo artist, sorry, excuse my language, was Just Having Fun, which was released on Enjoy Records.
Yes.
So I thought what we could do is, since you showed us a clip, I want to show a clip of this.
Alright.
Okay, here's Just Having Fun.
Bust this here. Now bust it. For all the sounds your beatboxers are doing. All the bit from me, I should be suing. Some say yay, but
Okay, that was Say Again. This guy's legend, man. These guys are legends. The people we're talking about, like now you're slowly starting to understand from each episode how and why hip hop became so popular, and the guys that really actually sort of gave birth to hip hop, right? And so this is why we love it. Now, Dougie was introduced, or Charles Rock, from the Harlem World Crew, was very instrumental in bringing Ricky D, aka Slick Rick,
British guy.
and yeah, he's British, right? Slick Rick, okay, and brought him and introduced him to Dougie Fresh, and together they created the Get Fresh Crew. Together they sort of recorded a really cool song called La Di Da Di Da.
By the way, I want to add that this was one of the most.
Okay, it's used often over again.
Yes, this was one of the most sampled songs, by the way,
Yeah.
for Slick Rick and Dougie.
And Snoop Dogg's used it so many times. He's used the word la di da di di, right, in his songs and all.
right.
He says it all the time, pretty much. Okay, so both showcased Doug's lyrical and beatbox skills. Okay,
Can I say something?
Yeah, sure.
I'm sorry to
of course,
interrupt.
sure, no problem.
One thing you need to know about Dougie Fresh, one of the things I love about this guy is that he actually was one of the few rappers who owned his masters and publishing.
Well, you know, he knew what he was doing. That was
Yes.
called intelligence. Keep the rights to your own music and make
Exactly.
sure that nobody else has the rights to it. Okay, that's why independent records
That's right.
are the good guys. Okay, those large labels, they take your rights away from you. Okay, they're making money for a lifetime. You're making little royalties. Okay, so anyways, before we go on, I want to show Lottie Dottie. I wants to party. Okay, so
Let's do it.
anyway, so Lottie Dottie, here's a clip.
Let's do it. Wow.
You know what? Yo, peep this. Lottie Dottie. We like to party. We don't cause trouble. We don't bother nobody. We're just some men that's on the mic. And when we rock up on the mic, we rock the mic. Right? For all the
Say
young.
Lottie Dottie, baby. Lottie Dottie. Okay. Ricky D left, okay, to strike out on his own as Slick Rick. Okay, he was cool. He had a patch on one eye, man.
I think he had some
Right?
problem with his eye when he was born.
Yeah, but it was cool. It made it look even cooler, man. The guy was
Style.
just awesome. It sort of became his sort of signature,
Yeah,
right?
his
And
mark.
so Mark, okay. So so we all know Slick Rick, okay,
Yeah.
and the things that he's done, right? And we're gonna talk more about him later on in future episodes. There's
That's
actually a show I want to do strictly on Slick Rick.
Yeah, we have to.
Okay,
We have
so-
to, definitely. So let's talk about Doug. He continued to record albums but never achieved the same success that he did earlier. He also featured on Stop the Violence movement song Self-Destruction, and along with African Bambaataa, Kumo D, and other rap artists, he was making lots of hits as well. He attempted to come back on Hammer Busted label in the early 90s.
Hammer! Can't touch this.
More notably, he appeared on the DJ Cool's Let Me Clear My Throat.
There's a lot of beatboxing on that as well, right?
Exactly.
And, yeah.
Alongside with
Let me
Biz
clear
Markie.
my throat. Right?
Yeah, you got it. Along with Biz Markie.
Yeah.
So he also performed and recorded with Tupac, Biggie, Eminem, P. Diddy, Dr. Dre, as well as venturing into the realms of reggae, R&B, and gospel.
Yeah.
Man.
He reunited with Rick Slick Rick. I don't know why I keep saying Rick Slick. Slick Rick. Okay, on a few of Rick's solo albums. Okay, Freshie E, or Dougie Fresh E. Okay, is still in business. He now manages a hip hop group called Square Off. Right, the group actually consists of his two sons. Square Off released their CD entitled Money, Moet, and Memories in June 2011, right? So anyway, so we have a clip of one of their songs, so you kind of hear how they did it, how his sound had influence on their music as well, right? So check it out. Here's another clip from their song. Okay, Money, Moet, and Memories.
All these holes on my clothes like the tags from Neiman's and Saks. Old school Gucci's with the alligator skin on the back. Rapping my niggas doing 10 in the max.
Okay, we're back. Dougie Fresh. And the human
I was gonna try to
beatbox.
do beatbox, but I can't. It'll be bad.
By the way, I have to say this as well. With Dougie Fresh, you know, when he was talking about when he started beatboxing, he said it was like all the muscles from the throat. And when he was learning how to play the trumpet, he kind of carried that on. And it's like just strengthening the muscles.
That would make sense. Because I play the saxophone, right?
Really?
But it's more for the lips, and sometimes you have to move the lips, and you have to really build so strong, and you got to hold the air in the stratagem, right?
And when he does beatbox, he doesn't even think about it. And that's, I guess, with academics like us, we have to, study, prepare. And I think this is what draws us more to music, because it's just emotion. It's just pure feeling.
It's
no
the real
preparation.
thing. It's the real thing, man. Like you can't. You can only put your effort and emotions into what you're saying, and you don't just write anything. You don't just say anything. You make sure that in good rapping, it's your emotions, your feelings, your story that you want to sort of spill out to everybody and give them a feeling of what you're going through. Right?
Exactly. So thank you, Dougie Fresh. He had a great career and is still kicking it with his sons. We wish him the best.
Yes.
Love you, man.
Next. Okay, next. We're gonna have some fun. Okay? We are going to talk about Queen. We will rock you. We will rock you. Yeah. Man, that's an anthem, right? Everywhere.
I have to say, in America, we knew about Queen. But when I came to Europe, I didn't know how much you Europeans love Queen. I mean, you hear
He's from England, mate. He's from England. He's Londonier, man. Like the bloke was like, he was one of us. He was one of our people. He was bigger in the UK before he became big in the United States.
But I'm still upset because I don't know why we don't play him more in the States.
They do.
They do.
Okay,
but
I know. Okay.
Compared to Europe,
When I was living in the United States for 4 years, okay, I do remember going to clubs and there were sort of like the rock, jazz kind of rock clubs where people hung out, and even in regular clubs, when they played. Everybody gets on the floor and banging the floor, and everybody gets up, right?
That's true.
So they played in clubs, man.
That's true,
right? But it's on the radio. It was on the radio. But I noticed in America, they always cut it off. They always shorten they have a shorter version of it, right? And
plus, I have to say, we play the same songs. So We Will Rock You and We Are the Champions, but we don't play those other hits. I've heard those other hits here the first time.
Really?
I didn't hear those other hits. So Queen we are going to talk about you so much.
So, yeah, so, you know, you guys are wondering why we're talking about this legendary band on when we said this is a hip hop station and talking about a hip hop show. But Queen had such an impact on everybody. So Queen is a British band, as you all know, okay, founded in 1970 by the singer Freddie Mercury, okay, Brian May on the guitar, and Roger Taylor on the drums. Okay, and John Deacon, he came in a little later on the bass, okay? They actually didn't have a bass for a while. They were trying different people, right? When they first started forming the band, okay? Despite the absence of some of its members, the band still was active until 2009.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Brian May and Roger Taylor founded the band Smile in 1968. And with Tim Staffel, if I remember, he was the lead vocalist.
He was the original vocalist.
Yeah.
And Freddie Mercury didn't have nothing to do with Smile.
Yeah, exactly. But he used to watch the concerts, and then he would observe it. And after
he pretty much mimicked him.
Yeah, he did. He did. But he would go back after stage, and he would just tell the guys, "Hey, I like the way you guys sound, but maybe you should do this." He would give like different, opinions and everything, and May and Taylor were just looking at each other. This guy.
Well, remember, didn't Tim Staffel, didn't he meet him in college, in art school?
That's right.
College?
That's right. He did.
So they met in art college. So they were in the artistic. They were very artistic with their stage performances, right? So that's what sort of, I think, really put them on the difference between the other rockers at the time, because the other rockers were just coming out playing their guitars and there was no storytelling. And this is what I mean by storytelling. Even he was doing sort of very theatrical performances on stage, right? And so he would basically pull you in, right? And carry you on this voyage, this trip. And that's why it was so popular with young people. They could relate to him, right? They could relate to the band. Just like hip-hop artists, right? And people fans that listen to hip-hop music, we can relate, okay? You can relate to the people that are creating those good songs, good rap songs you can relate to, right?
That's right. So when Staffel left the band, May and Taylor immediately thought of Mercury because of all the times they were discussing before. Once the three of them were together, Smile's name became Queen at the suggestion of Freddie's opinion, because I think Freddie just wanted the new vibe, like you said, a new feeling. So they still needed a bass player, like you said, and I think they were trying many people, and John Deacon became to be the new bass player in 1971, if I remember.
Yeah, so for 1 year they didn't have a permanent bass player.
That's right.
So that was actually because they started in 1970. They actually, Smile actually started a little bit earlier. So, but the band Queen, okay, that officially took off in 1970, right?
So when Freddie Mercury decided maybe I should change the logo, he decided to make the logo.
This is a cool story, man. This is a cool story.
That's right.
If it's a story I think you're going to tell, this is a really interesting story.
Yeah.
Right.
So when he designed to change the logo, he designed it in a way that inspires the band, but he used zodiac signs of the members, and that's why you see the two lions. From Deacon and Taylor. Yeah. And which they were Leo. Yeah. And a crab for May because he was a Cancer like myself. Cancer.
You got cancer?
I'm Cancer.
You got cancer?
I'm a Cancer.
He's the Cancer. Hey, scientists, you want me to solve the problem of cancer? Get rid of him.
Nothing wrong with that. And two fairies for Mercury, because he was a Virgo, if I believe. Yeah. Freddie was a Virgo.
Yeah. That was good. Yeah, that's true. Is Virgo twins? No. Virgo. Okay, the Virgos are fairies, apparently. Okay, so anyways, what? A lot of people thought the two lions were the London Lions for a long time. Yeah. Because a lot of the shields in England, the royal shields, any kind of sir or knighted member, they all have lions representing the London Lions. So for a long time, people thought, oh, obviously London Lions, but it had nothing to do with that, right? And because they were already a British band, they were recognized as a British band, okay? They recorded their first 4 songs in their friend's studio, okay? They didn't even believe that Brian didn't even believe his friend actually had a studio, and to prove it, the guy said, "Come on in, I'll show you guys." I set up a studio, right? So they recorded the first 4 songs there in their studio, after which they started to search for label, right? They had 4 songs. Back then you didn't need to have 12 or 10, you had to only have about 3 or 4 songs, and then you took that to the labels, different labels. There was a lot of manual work back then. They didn't have Spotify, Apple Store, or Apple Tunes, or all these other sites, okay? You have to manually do the work, especially if you didn't even have a manager, right? And it was really hard to get in through the door with if you didn't have a manager, or if you did not have your album or your songs were not even heard yet anywhere. You had to play, they had to do a lot of indie shows, they had to go to different shows, do different venues. Eventually people started to sort of recognize them, get to know who they were, right? And then they were approached by 2 record labels, okay? One of them, they just said no because the guy wanted too much control, okay? Then the other one was Trident. First they resisted Trident Records, okay? Then eventually they said, okay, right? As long as they meet our conditions. So they actually made a really good condition, set really good conditions with Trident. And one of the conditions was that if they're gonna do that, if they're gonna have them, if they were gonna do a contract with them and they were gonna sign with them, they could only manage them. And they could only promote them. Right, and not to represent anyone else. That was brilliant because they had to get, they had all the focus of the record label on them. It wasn't a big record label, but they had to let go a lot of their smaller bands so that they could just follow the contract they signed, pay full attention to them. It paid off. However, the one thing that Trident didn't have is a distribution deal. They couldn't distribute it very far, not international, not even, they're only in a small area, even in the UK. Eventually they, just said like, we need to find a distribution. Instead, they got, in 1973, they signed a deal with Elektra Records, okay, and they released their first album called Queen. Now, it was a good album. The original first Queen album. It has some good songs on the Testers type of thing, but it didn't shoot them to stardom at all. But it got their name out there. The more people started to recognize who they were, and they actually became really good, and they started getting a bit of a following.
That's right. So in 1974, Queen appeared in the Top of the Pops.
Yeah, that's a list that we used to have in the UK.
Yes.
I remember that.
I watched some of the songs, the old songs with the Top of the Pops. And with their song, The 7 Seas of Rye, their performance was televised, and quickly EMI released a single with the song See What a Fool I've Been.
Yeah. EMI just came by and swift them because they paid Elektra Records at the time not a lot of money, but they sort of, because Elektra wanted to sign more people on, right? So the only way to do that was to sort of let them go, but they had a lot of money coming in for their contract.
Yeah, and it managed to be one of the ranked top 10 songs most listened to for 10 weeks at a time.
Yeah, back then, if your song was playing for more than 2 weeks, that was a hit, right? And that means you made it to, you had some sort of recognition. Now it's like months. Like, your song, if your song isn't there for more than a month or 2 months on the top 10, right? You're pretty much, you're one hit wonder, right? And okay, hey.
Why don't we listen to it?
Okay, sure, let's listen to it.
Let's listen to
Okay,
it.
you're gonna like this, okay?
What I say, what a fool I've been.
You know what? Their music sounds great even today.
It's timeless.
It's timeless, right? Michael Jackson, Queen, Prince, Beatles, right? Elvis Presley, Frank Sinatra, Dre's, and Snoop's, all these other hip hop artists, Nas, right? Big Pun, right? Tupac, the poet, okay, sort of the god, which we all can agree he was sort of the god rap and hip hop music. Okay, legendary. We'll talk about him later. Okay, so the same year, the second album, okay, was released, and after the first one was they just called it Queen 2.
Hey, if it sounds good.
If it sells, hey, their name, because they were smart though.
Yes.
Because this way they were able to keep the name of everybody recognizing the band's name and not just the name of a hit song. Right? So Queen 2, right, came out, and which ranked number 5 on the UK top 10, okay, list in the UK. It made this actually, because of that, they actually got a tour, and then in November the same year, these guys started like machines, man. They were popping albums out like this, songs, and that tells you the genius of the musical talent that they had, and the creativity of a mind of that time, right? When you were gonna go be a musician back then, you came in prepared, okay? You couldn't just put out one song, one album and do or whatever. These guys were on a roll. They were smart. They're on a roll. Why would they want to stop, right? So what they do is they put out their third album, okay? Was released. Sheer Heart Attack, okay, of which Killer Queen, the song Killer Queen, and Flick of the Wrist managed to enter America's top list, okay, and then now they've sort of like crossed over the pond, right? They were already being heard a little bit, okay, but now they were like big. Okay.
All right.
And you know what? Here's something you might not know, actually. It's something interesting is that when a lot of the indie bands back then, if they didn't make it in America, they would come to the UK, and then they would make it big in the UK, and then they'd go back, and then some record label in North America would pick them up. And then that same thing happened to Bryan Adams.
Yeah.
Bryan Adams released the summer of '96, right?
69.
Or 69, sorry, summer of '69. I keep making mistakes today, people, I apologize. So the summer of '69, right? And it flopped. It didn't go anywhere in Canada. It didn't even make it in Canada. He's from Vancouver, British Columbia, by the way. Beautiful country. Anyways, so then he released the same album under a British label in the UK. Instant hit. Okay, and so a year later, it was number 1 in North America, not just United States, but in North America, it became number 1. Okay, and it's the same thing that happened to Queen long before, right? But Queen was from England, but they were having a hard time making it out into the States. But once they did, woo! Okay, they were on a roll. After this success, right, it actually earned them a world tour. Right? They did it through Europe, America, and to Canada and Japan. Right? And so this officially now makes them the band. The band to mess with. You wouldn't mess with it. Nobody wanted to mess with Queen at this point.
That's right.
Okay.
So in 1975, the first single of this next album was published, Bohemian Rhapsody.
Woo! Oh, you guys have all seen this album, okay? Here's a picture of that album right here. Okay, keep going. Okay.
What was this? One of the lines? I see a little silhouette of the Okay, that was bad. That's like, I'll never get tired of that. I will never.
Okay, this was actually one of the other episodes we talked about this, how this song was about 12 minutes or something like that, and 12 15 minutes, and they were told this is that song we were talking about, this whole album. Okay, all the songs on this album were really long, and their manager, record label, they all said nobody's going to listen to you, and they sort of went, no, people will. Let's do it. Let's try. Okay, and he didn't budge. He said it's going to be 12 to 13 minutes. It was 12 to 13 minutes. Okay, and they locked themselves up in a barn away from everything else, and they started to create this album, right? And I think it was like 3 months. They did it in 3 or 4 months, and it was an instant hit. Okay, all right. So moving on, in 1976, Queen released A Day at the Race. sis.
Yeah.
Okay, and in 1977 they released The News of the World. There's 2 songs from this album, okay, that became instant rock anthems. Okay, we started with that in the beginning of the song. One was We Will Rock You, and the other one was We Are the Champions, my friend. So let's hear the 2 clips, okay? So they can, if you haven't heard this and if you've been living under a rock, okay? So listen to
Let's
this.
listen to it.
In 1978, they released the Jazz, and then right after that, they released another one in 1980 called The Game. In 1981, guess what? They were back on top, baby, as the #1 rock band in England with the song Under Pressure.
Oh, under pressure, push it down on you, push it down on me, no man ask for pressure.
Under Pressure.
Let me, I love the song. I love the song.
Okay, and so the song was composed and realized next to David Bowie. Okay, we'll talk about him. He also had a huge influence with a lot of rappers and stuff like that, and composed a lot of music for some. Right, and later in 1990s, it was sampled by a rapper. Okay, way before Eminem. The white rapper by the name of Vanilla Ice. The song is called Ice Ice Baby Ice, right? So it was, see, this is what I'm talking about, right? It has an influence, they had so much influence on people, right? So here's a clip I put together. Okay, first they can listen to Queen's Under Pressure, and then you can listen to Vanilla Ice. If you never heard of Vanilla Ice, you get a chance to hear them now, okay? So here you go.
VIP. Let's kick it.
All right. Wow. That was nice. You put those 2 together.
Ice, baby. Stop.
In 1987, Mercury's partner, Jim Hutton, announced that the singer had AIDS, even though the rest of the band members denied it during that time, which was
I think because they were kind of worried what that was going to do for their reputation.
So, however, in 1991, Mercury said in a statement that he had the disease, and in the same text, he asked for all the support from the public and the people to fight against this disease. And despite this, 2 days later, he passed away around November 24th, 1991, at 45 years old.
Wow, he was so young.
Yeah, he was.
Right?
Legend always.
Man, yeah,
Right.
so that's a sad story, right? But, okay, but the guy was a legend, Queen was a legend, Queen still is a legend, not was, okay? There you have it, people. That's it, okay? You are now in the vibe, okay? So.
Oh, is it that time already?
Bass.
Yeah, it's that time already.
Do I hear it?
You hear it.
Do I hear it?
You will hear it.
Here it comes.
Here it comes. Here are the top 10 new rap songs of the
Your
week.
hit list.
Hit list.
I swear for God, I'm only stepping for my own film. I'm praying when I see my enemy, this shit don't jam. You been saying it's out in quarantine, that's why I don't see him.
And now my grannies, I had broccoli, I had candy, yup. 100 racks in my fanny pack, and a 30 round under my jacket, yup. Look at my
like a criminal. General God know I ain't feminine. Long as I keep my hands sanitized, I'ma come clean, I just realized with no analyze.
This is telescope, open up the door, flow like chill, let me fucking go. Coming out the coop, we them troops.
Everybody forgot about me and the work I put in. I ain't get the credit that I supposed to get on my end. All time is sitting in, but I'm on love, I wouldn't believe it either. I be like Jay-Z's a cheater, I wouldn't listen to reason either. All I know is easy, fella.
Play that new Glock, let it spray like Ajax. Blow him down and it's back to the hood, and we just might have to have speed on the way back. For be money, we throwing up bees, cause
if I want it, the money got blood all on it. The money got blood all on it, yeah, the money got blood all on it.
That's a fucking trade, babe. Walk up on them, lay shit down. That don't fucking trade, babe. Keep it flat, you know you
ain't mine. My heart being bruised when I own them before it. Got a good feeling this time. I've been focused on you and I cannot ignore it.
That was awesome, show bass, and the top 10 list of this week's top 10. Can you dig it?
I can always dig it. Let's do it. I agree. Okay, people, let's remember to subscribe and leave your comments below. Please press the likes and ring that bell.
We will see you next week with another exciting episode in the vibe. Have a great week, people. Peace.